okay. Okay. So I don't think it was that bad. If yeah, when you sit, when you practice, sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's easy. So very often our daily practice, it's a reflection of how our day was. If it was a lot of thinking and complicated, it's just boring and painful. But if it was clear, then your sitting is clear. So sometimes bad, sometimes good. It doesn't really matter. When it's not very clear and it's painful, that somebody in pain is sitting meditation. Or somebody not clear at this moment with a lot of thinking is sitting meditation. When it's clear, then clear and good and relaxed and right this moment, and that person is sitting meditation. It doesn't matter. What does matter is to sit, is to practice. Yes, that's life. Sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's not nice or bad. Sometimes it's happy, sometimes it's sad. Everybody experiences that, and there is no way around it. So, do you have any questions?
Also, is that like orange on white orange?
Well, I wouldn't call it orange.
Sunim, you have to repeat the question so
Ah,
people can hear.
the question is, monks always wear orange, and why orange? And my answer is, what color is this?
Orangey.
He said orangey. I would say then it would be a rotten orange. I would call it brown. The point of this outer robe, this is actually monk's robe, and in different monks' tradition, different Buddhist tradition and schools, it has different look. Originally, during the Buddha times, monk actually, the word for monk, bhikkhu, means homeless or beggar. They had nothing. So when they were making robes, they were stitching it from the fabric they were finding in the garbage. So that's why many pieces. And then they were dyeing it in natural dyes, and it was kind of this yellowy, orangey, originally look. Now, I wouldn't call it a robe stitched from the garbage rags, So it's just more a symbol of that time. But yeah, the pieces is just, if you wanted to buy a big, the coupon of fabric, it costs too much money, and monks didn't have money. So they were looking for pieces of fabric, and to make it uniform, they were dyeing it. The original color, saffron, is natural dye, which gave it this orangey, yellowish color. Any other questions?
So we're supposed to practice compassion for other people and, want good for them. But we're also sort of supposed to remain sort of detached and not become, I think, too invested in what they're going on, respect their solitude. And I was wondering how you think that can be done with people, because it's often, I find it very difficult at times.
So the question is, how is it to be done with people? What, to practice compassion towards them and
without becoming attached to them, without, I guess.
That's not difficult. If Zen means, how do you keep clear mind in this moment, right? So if in any given moment somebody needs your help, and forget about it. That's it. Don't dwell on it. Do it and forget about it. That's not only Buddhist, and Christianity is the true, the correct way, you can say, of giving alms is your left hand shouldn't know what your right hand is doing. So you do not get attached to the result or anything. You help and forget. move on. Then some other situation, somebody else, then different situation, different reaction. Being clear means seeing the situation in its all entirety, so cause and effect. So sometimes helping is this way, sometimes if you repeat this action, if you attach to that particular action, in another situation it may actually do more harm than good. So stay clear. And in order to stay clear, forget about what happened. Clear your mind, okay? And not difficult. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
So you said, if you're doing something to help, you do it, and then let it go after you do it, you forget about it. But how? There's so much suffering. It's like if I'm, maybe I'm helping an unhoused person on the street and I help them and I then forget about it, but how can I forget about all these people that don't have homes, that are living in bad situations?
Do I have to repeat the question? So the question is, how can you actually, forgetting about suffering, when so many people are suffering and there is so much of that around us, how can we forget about it? Yeah, right now, suffering, not suffering. What are you doing right now? Only that?
What'd you say?
Only that?
What'd you say, Sunim?
Does anybody have Q-tips? She cannot hear. All right, so right now, this is the way, if right now, we're talking, when you say something, I listen, when I answer, then you listen, and then that's dialogue. If at this moment you carry all that weight of the suffering people, you cannot hear what I say, which you just proved. What did you say? Forget about it, okay? In any given situation. Yeah, our teachers and Master Sung San, his health was really bad. I mean, it's a miracle he lived to the age of 78. He had a number of strokes, heart attacks, and really not a good health. But I saw him many times when somebody was in this similar situation, say, I would be giving introductory talk, and he would be sitting there waiting for the question period and to answer questions. He was very often sitting like this. Pain, a lot of pain in his body. Then the introductory talk finished, his face brightened, and he says, do you have questions? Any questions, any kind of... This energy went right into this point. He didn't carry that situation, forget about it. The situation changed. It's different. So you like any other human being, sometimes when you go out with your friends, when you eat good meal with them, then enjoy it. That's the correct situation, okay? Then just thinking about it, it's all the time, won't help anything, nothing will become clear. Then if you are clear, if I go on the street and think about all the suffering in the world, I may not see an old woman who needs help crossing the street because I think about the suffering. There was a really nice story which the Chon Mun Sunim, who is a Zen master in Musangsa, he said from old days in LA Zen Center, there was one guy over there who was practicing for a while with the group, but then, as it usually happens after many years of practice, it becomes boring. Looking at this floor, it becomes boring and kind of routine. So he just decided, maybe I'll just try some other thing. So he went to some some yoga center, and they practice was meditation with closed eyes and a lot of chanting, Indian chanting. Say Om Namah Shivaya, and he was like coming back out of practice center, yoga center, and walking on the street, and he had his eyes open, but he was chanting in his mind, and he was so focused on his chanting that he didn't look to his sides and attempted to cross the street, and the car was coming, and the guy, the driver, jammed the brakes and squealing of the tires. He opened the windows and he shouted to him, "Hey, buddy, keep clear!" So hearing this man was kind of surprised. Next day, he came back to the Zen center. Okay, so the point is keep clear. Okay, keep clear. Don't, thinking. Also, if we continue, that's human nature. If we take some aspect of reality and keep focusing on it, and you can see this very well in the news cycle. Something happens. If something bad happens, it's repeated within seconds all over the world. If somebody kills one person, not so much. If somebody kills 10 people or 20 people, everybody knows about it. And if you look at the news, everything, including the weather, it's portrayed in kind of sensational way. Like they use those words just to attract your attention. And if you think like that, then it blows it out of proportion. One time I was at the monks training center, but I was visiting Poland during the break in the training, and two things happened. There was I forgot the name of the island. North Koreans shot the missile and it killed 4 people. And there was Fukushima plant, the whole disaster. So my sister is saying to me, don't go back. There will be a war over there, And I say, okay, I have a ticket. I called my teacher. And I said, should I change the ticket because... No, there were 2 separate instances. But I went back to Korea, and I come to Sutra school, and my friends, Korean friends, I asked them about the situation. They just laughed. They said, it's all the time like that, nothing really changed. But the farther from the place this was happening, it was bigger disaster. War is coming. So if you think like that, it will actually, instead of being clear, it will paralyze you, and it's not going to be a clear response to the situation. With the Fukushima, I was at that time I was in US, so my flight back was to Japan from Seattle, and I called my teacher and I asked him, should I change the flight? And he was silent for a moment. He said, no. And that was the best flight I ever had. I had to, there were 10 people on the plane. I had all the service, all the sleeping space. I didn't need first class. He was very wise. But if you read the news in America, no, it was disaster. Don't go there. Nuclear fallout, all that stuff. Nothing further from the truth. Any other questions?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
There was this wonderful Dhamma talk by, all of a sudden I can't remember her name, Polish master who also lives in Cambridge Zen Center.
Bonshim
Ola,
Sansini.
yeah.
Ola, yeah.
And she made this talk, and the word really stuck with me. she said any kind of healing could only happen in the space of before thinking, in the space of Dharma. Can you elaborate a little bit on?
Could you repeat what Ting said?
Yeah, okay. So she was listening to Zen Master Bonshim's talk, and Zen Master Bonshim that any kind of feeling can happen only in the space before thinking. And she asked me to comment. I said,
Healing.
to what?
Healing process. If you have
Healing, not
Yes.
feeling. Healing. See, I need a Q-tip too. Can happen in the space before thinking. Yeah, rational thinking is important. You know, we are human beings. It's we're chanting today Heart Sutra twice. Once in Chinese, that wasn't Korean, that was Korean pronunciation of Chinese, and once in English, and it speaks about 6 senses. So one of them is intellectual mind, and object of that are thoughts. So it's like any other sense, we have to not put too much weight on it. We have to learn how to use it correctly. But, you know, there is a lot of stuff. Nowadays you can read and hear a lot about so-called power of positive thinking. But sometimes you can say many times to yourself, I'm gonna get healthy and I'm gonna be healthy from now on and I will have no problems with your body. It works 50%. You know? Sometimes you will get healthy, sometimes not. It's okay. It doesn't really, that's physical healing. But this power of, you know, this analytical thinking often doesn't have, it's only gets in a way, okay? Because if you are clear in this moment, then even if there is, I assume when she was talking about healing, she didn't mean just physical body healing, but healing your mind and whatever scars you have. If you're really clear in this moment, then somebody, and if there is some trauma or something, and each one of us experienced to a certain degree some bad things happening to us, and we carry that luggage. But then it's it's, you know, like everybody had somebody close dying, right? So after that there is a lot of suffering. You know, both of my parents died, and I wasn't able to be in Poland when they did. You know, and it took a while. But thinking about it wouldn't help at all, you know. I know with my father I let go of it when I was doing a solo retreat, you know, in America. My mother died when I was at the retreat in Korean temple. You know, I couldn't come, but my sister let me know, and I got the message. And it's hard. But if you, it's not that we should push it out of consciousness. We cannot. That's not possible. That won't work. But if you, so thinking about it and holding on to it won't make it better at all. But if we pay attention and look deeply inside, then eventually we can do something with it, or better yet, do something despite of it. You know, somebody said, I think it was one of the Buddhist teachers, or Buddha, I don't know, I don't want to assign the quotes, but I remember the words, if you want to be happy, help others. Okay? So stop focusing on yourself, help others. If you're helping others, if you're doing something 100%, where is your suffering? You know? We all heard those words many times. You know, suffering is created by our karma, is created by our thinking. You know? So if you don't think, then what? So just doing thing, and again, being 100% in this situation doesn't mean push the feelings away, because they will come back. Then, you know, when you said, then again, sad person. You know, when I was at the summer Ango is the name in Korea they use for, Kyeolche is the Titan rule. Ango is the name of the period, peaceful dwelling. So when 2 weeks before it was ending, I learned about my mom dying, and I had the choice. If she was in Korea, I would just go to the head monk, and they would give me 3 days off to go for the funeral. But to Poland, by the time I would arrange the ticket, the retreat would be over. So I didn't even say anything to anybody. I had to sit with it. You know? I had to sit with it, and you know, I sit in silence. So yeah, so I was needless to say, I was not happy, and I had no choice. And very often in our life we have no choice. So if we accept this no choice situation and just try to be in this moment, come back to this mind before thinking, then in a way healing happens. Yeah, she was completely right. Any other questions?
What sort of time to stop?
Huh? My time is up?
But if people have...
Wonderful!
If people have no questions, please.
You know, I live, as Judy said, introducing me, I stay in Poland, which is partially true. I stay part in Korea, part in Poland. But when I'm in Poland, like this winter, I will be sitting alone. So because it's a hermitage, so there is no other people there. So after I come out, after 100 days of not talking to anybody, when they don't give me a limit, I can talk for a long time.
Emily, do you have a question?
What's the question? Oh, not really. I don't know how to tip.
How to what?
Tip. Do monks tip? Should I tip? Is that giving or should I?
What do you think?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Oh, why not? You know, like in America, particularly in America, the wait staff, their wages are lower because they know that they will be getting a share of the tip. So this is like, yeah, you that's your share. Why not? And it's in America. It's a cost. If you don't know, nowadays they make it easy. You put your credit card, and they say, "Would you like to tip?" And they tell you 15% is that much, 20%, 25%. It's couldn't be easier. You just tap it and done. You know.
Make the number just get bigger and bigger.
It's your choice. If you know, yeah, always give something. Why not? You know, giving is helping that person. You know? So, yeah, why not? From now on, don't think. Use the card, and if you don't know how much, choose the middle number. It's 15, 20, 25, 20. Okay? 20 is more than 15, the wait staff will be happy. Okay? And you won't have to think about it. Great. All right. It's great to be here, and I just... Zen practice, in conclusion, Zen practice is not a miracle. You know? It's not... And don't ever count on when you're going to be sitting, don't wait for the moment, boom! And from that moment, everything is peachy rosy. No, it ain't going to happen. There was a great movie documentary about Dogen, very well done. It was actually mockumentary because it was a movie. And everything was great, but they couldn't figure out how to film the moment of his enlightenment. So his enlightenment, the music starts, the lotus flower under Dogen, and he goes up into the sky. And I thought, damn, they messed it up. Because then you have to come down from the sky. And if you come down too fast, it will be rough. So no, it's not gonna be like that. But Zen, and all of us heard that many times, is how do you keep your mind in this moment? And there's always this moment. And besides this moment, we have nothing. It doesn't happen in the future, it doesn't happen in the past. It's just now. So let's try, okay? That's all we can do. All right. Thank you.
I have announcements.
Okay.